Hey folks, we're here in the workshop again at Fuller Farm, and we are making a hive stand today. So we have these two 4x4s that we got. We're going to drill holes in it, and also I've cut up some old 2x4s so that we can put as the cross sections in between these 4x4s for our hive stand. That'll then sit on blocks. So let's get to it. And here's what we're using to connect those the 4x4 to the 2x4s. So we'll go ahead and get those all screwed in. Alright, as you can see, we've got the hive stand finished. All those 2x4s are connected to the 4x4s. This thing is very heavy, very sturdy, and it's going to be sitting on blocks. Just to give you an idea, this hive stand is going to be for up to 3 beehives. We're just starting with 1 beehive, but as long as I'm building a hive stand, I might as well build it bigger. Eventually we want to add at least another hive and maybe a third. So you can see right in the middle, there's a spot for a hive, there's a spot for a hive, and there's a spot for a hive. We're here with Miss B again. We have the hive stand in place on the blocks, but if you can probably tell, it's not quite level yet.
This is a little raised and this is a lot raised, so we have to dig out mud.
Alright, so we dug that up a little bit. You can see here it's pretty level. The same there. So it's good to measure several different areas. It's level there. I do want to talk about some customizations that you can make on your hive stand. One thing we did is the distance here at the end, we made it just enough so that when you take a frame out to inspect it, voila, you could put a couple frames right there while you're working on the hive. Another thing you can do, if you look at your smoker, it's got a little hook on there. You could put something on the side where you could just hook your smoker on while you're working. Another thing is, because of wind, you could drill some hooks on either side of those 2x4s to then put on your straps to hold down your beehive in case of wind. Why do I want my beehive raised so far off the ground? One is, it's going to be easier to work with the hive when it's closer up. There's not as much bending down. Also, we don't have black bears in the area, but we do have a lot of possums, raccoons, and skunks. And they would love to sit at the entrance to this hive and eat bees all day long if they could. So, by raising up the hive, if they want to eat bees, they have to stand up. And then they put their bellies at risk of being stung. So this is a safety measure that beekeepers often use to protect their hives from raccoons, skunks, and the like. As far as cost goes, we spent about $8 on each of the 4x4, so that's $16. Each of the cinder blocks, you can see there's 8 of them. They were $1 a piece. And then the hardware altogether was maybe $3. So we're talking around $25 for a pretty hefty beehive stand that can hold up to 3 beehives easily. This thing is not falling apart. In case you want to know measurements, we have 18 inches in between the 4x4s. So that obviously is the length of all of our 2x4s that are connecting. The entire length is 72 inches, so 6 feet long. If we measure from the first 2x4 to the next, it's 14 inches. And that's how wide our beehive is. So again, another 14 inches for the next beehive, and the last beehive another 14 inches. That's it, folks, from Fuller Farm. Remember, like, thumbs up, subscribe.